All right, so have you ever, like, looked at your phone and just been completely overwhelmed by the sheer number of apps you have?
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's crazy. I read somewhere that the average American uses something like 46 apps a month.
Wow.
It's insane, right? And it just got me thinking, like, what if there was a better way?
Yeah.
What if we could, like, consolidate everything, all those different apps into one mega app?
Oh, you mean like a super app?
Exactly. A super app. One app to rule them all. I mean, think about it. You could order groceries, book flights, message your friends, manage your bank account, maybe even like schedule doctor's appointments, all in one place.
It's funny you mention that because in some parts of the world, super apps are already like a normal part of life.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, especially in Asia, you've got apps like WeChat and Alipay. These are huge platforms, and people use them for pretty much everything.
So, like, it's totally possible to have this, like, seamless digital life
Yeah.
where you don't have to constantly switch between a million different apps. So why isn't this a thing in the US? I mean, are we just behind the times, or is there something else going on?
Well, there are definitely some challenges, I think. The first thing that comes to mind is data privacy.
Yeah.
Think about all the information we put on our phones, our bank details, our location, our contacts, our browsing history. I mean, it's a lot of sensitive stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And if all of that was concentrated in one super app, well, it could be a pretty big target for hackers. Remember what happened with Equifax a few years back?
Oh, yeah, that was a mess.
Millions of people's data was exposed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think data privacy is a major concern for a lot of folks when it comes to the idea of super apps.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But, I mean, I feel like I've seen some buzz about U.S. tech companies at least thinking about super apps, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, you've got companies like Meta, Google, Amazon. They're all kind of dipping their toes in the water. They've already got these massive user bases, and they offer a ton of different services. So in a way, they're kind of primed to become super apps if they, wanted to make that leap.
So if, like, a U.S. super app did happen, what would it even look like? Like, would it just be, Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp all smushed together?
Yeah.
Or would it be something completely different?
Yeah, I think it's still up in the air exactly what form it would take. But I think the key would be to make it truly integrated, not just a bunch of different apps stuck together, but, one seamless experience where everything works together smoothly.
Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So, like, thinking about it from the user's perspective, right? Like, on the one hand, the convenience of having everything in one place, that's super appealing. No more like a million passwords to remember or app switching. But then on the other hand, you've got the whole data privacy issue and maybe even like losing some of the specialized features that you get with standalone apps.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like there's a trade-off there.
Absolutely. I think it's that classic, dilemma, convenience versus control. And I think ultimately it's up to each individual to decide what's more important to them. Are you willing to maybe sacrifice a little bit of privacy for a more streamlined digital experience? Or is it more important to keep your data, compartmentalized, even if it means juggling more apps?
And I guess for companies, I mean, if they really want to make super apps work here in the US, they'd really have to step up their game when it comes to data security, right?
Oh, for sure. They would have to build trust with users and prove that they're serious about protecting people's information.
Okay, so let's dream big for a second, right?
I like it.
Imagine a U.S. super app that's not just, cobbled together from existing apps, but something that's truly innovative, something that uses AI to actually, make our lives easier in a way that we can't even imagine right now.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. What if it could learn your habits, your preferences, and anticipate your needs? Maybe it could recommend a new restaurant based on your past orders, or even automate tasks for you, like paying your bills or scheduling appointments.
Okay, yeah, see, now we're talking. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the whole super app thing here in the U.S. is, kind of like a work in progress. We'll have to wait and see what happens. It'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds. But before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to leave our listeners with today?
Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about a lot. If you were building your ideal super app, right, what would it include? What services would be absolutely essential? And what features would actually, make your digital life easier? And I guess on the flip side, what data would you be comfortable sharing in exchange for that convenience? Because, that's a big part of the equation too. It's a tricky balance. And I think it's a question worth pondering as this whole super app saga continues to unfold.
Definitely something to think about.